What's your general market view right now?
Thank you, Alicia. Good morning. The market has remained largely choppy. A lot of volatility inherent in the system. Obviously, on account of predominantly is being weighed down by sentiments surrounding the elections and politics. Also, we've seen that there hasn't been sustained demand. People are willing to take profits, a bit more, quickly than was previously the case in the past.
Well, we've had another deal announcement emerge out of the banking sector yesterday, not entirely unexpected. Afrinvest signing a recapitalization agreement with the private equity consortium Vine Capital, and that making it the third rescued lender to now announce a deal. Market reaction to that news?
Well, like you said, Afribank's supposed deal with the private equity group Vine Capital had been in the works for quite a while. It was pretty much in public purview. There has been pretty much muted reaction to that piece of announcement. I think the market is essentially waiting on more specific information on the surrounding these proposed transactions. There are a lot of things also dependent on the success of these deals. There are activities surrounding getting approvals from shareholders and a lot of other regulators as well.
Of course, without the numbers, really hard to assess the value proposition here. But what do you see this, holistically spelling for the group moving forward, especially that we're looking at a private equity player coming on board here, like we've seen in the case with Union Bank?
I think one of the key distinctives on this particular transaction is perhaps the management team that will be driving this initiative. We understand that two of the key principals that are part of the Vine Capital group are previous bankers. The head of which used to be a banker with Goldman Sachs in the US. Perhaps they will be bringing to the table significant international experience and exposure, particularly to the financial services space. And also, given the position that Afribank used to occupy in the Nigerian banking sector, pretty much, perhaps bodes well for the bank. But like you said, a lot still remains out there. The jury's still out, particularly on the fact that we haven't seen December 2009 and December 2010 numbers for Afribank specifically. So one can perhaps be able to infer in terms of specifics, how that is going to play out.
Well, it's that exact lack of clarity and lack of detail that seems to be weighing on Access Bank as well. It dropped to a 6-month low, shedding more than 3% in heavy trade yesterday. And that, as we know, this company plans to tie up with Intercontinental Bank. What's your view on Access at the moment?
Access, well, is essentially being punished along with the rest of the markets. It's a general trend. We still think that there is significant value in Access, specifically in our view. The proposed tie-up with Intercontinental Bank is one that will significantly boost the bank's capacity, especially when you look at it from a retail banking perspective, where the bank is not traditionally known to be pretty strong. Access is a bank that has significant strengths in the corporate and institutional banking network. Pretty decent loan book if you look at it from a quality of credit perspective. The bank is looking to obviously expand on its scale and distribution, and in order to be positioned to challenge the top tier banks as is. So that tie-up obviously lends some very potentially positive synergies.
Overarching all of that activity, we've seen Nigeria's central bank saying yesterday that it would target non-performing loan ratio of 5% across the banking sector after the state bank AMCON absorbed lenders' existing bad loans. What have you made of that, and how realistic a target has been set here?
I think first things first, it's important to note that this is obviously this gives color to the fact that the central bank is currently being led by a former risk manager. Quite clearly, the focus by the CBN has been to ensure that NPLs are kept at barest minimum. I'm not sure there has been a precedent set before where the central bank targets a specific NPL ratio for its banking industry. But perhaps it is a good thing anyway, all taken in. Even though there are potential scenarios that could play out. One, we could find the Nigerian banks become, or continue on the path of, significant risk aversion that has, been the case heretofore. Meaning that they would obviously not lend as aggressively as, the economy and business needs, may arise. Or in the scenario where Some banks take the other extreme view, which is to become a bit more reckless, recognizing the fact that there is a body, in this case AMCON, who would in any case buy off whatever excess NPLs there are above the 5% threshold. But then again, it's all left to see how that plays out.